Dear tokenism, well, we all know we are basically being hounded by tokenism in Hollywood. Yeah, no, I don't think it's all Hollywood, just selected studios who have hired SJWs who know nothing about characters. This is definite. But this one is geared toward Catherine Kennedy. I want you to cease and desist, and you need to leave. Because basically, how can I'm gonna put it this way. It's just one. I love all your films from beginning to end, and I got wind that you're the negative one. Says, yeah, everyone else did. So that doesn't bode well on your side. Threatening people? No. 2. Saying stupid things. Taking away people's right to say whatever's on their mind, and getting Disney to fire a certain person. Yeah, I can say it. Gina says, "What are you trying to do? I know you're trying to ruin Lucasfilm, and I know that George Lucas, who used to be your friend, doesn't like you anymore. Says, the wave of the future is only one thing from the wave of the past. You have to be nice to the nice to the nice." Spoken to by Frank Burns. This is sorry, but that one, because that's a MASH reference, so definite. This is, I'm a longtime fan of MASH. All those characters on a show, and several shows from the 50s to until what was it, like what year was it? 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. We're in the 20s now. Think about that. Think about the things that we actually see everywhere. Everywhere you go, fans will never forgive you for what you've done. If you thought you could squish them, nah, you're not important. You're just a footnote in history. And you'll go down as one of the worst people that graced, that took over Lucasfilm. I have very low tolerance for people who actually think they're better than everyone else. I've been spoken down to in the past, distant past. I didn't like it, so I just turned around and said, we're all human. Do I respect you? No, I don't. E.T., one of the greatest films I've ever seen. I have seen every single film that Steven Spielberg has done, has made, has directed, produced. And you need to think about that. There's only one person that I can think of that doesn't bow down to these people, these fake fans. Ridley Scott. Now, He doesn't do anything with them. He ignores them. Oh, thank goodness. People with morals. People who are talented enough to tell a decent story without something being forced down fans' throats. I like to keep an open mind with everything. I treat people with respect. I treat people as equals. You don't. You say you do, but you don't. So, I'm better than you. You may be rich and powerful. I don't care. People like you need to leave the industry. I don't know what you have on the two bobs, but I can say for one thing, you need to go. No one wants you. Your show, your Star Wars show, that's set around the high era. She needs to go too, because she's one of you. People who love the ruin franchises should not be in franchises to begin with. You're not saying what really went before. I have seen a lot of female-led shows. Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore. I Love Lucy. Golden Girls. Oh, that's a good one. But then there are other ones too. Wonder Woman from the 70s was good, quite good. Not the best, but very much better than the last movie, which I actually did enjoy, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. A lot of people were like, hey, she can't do this and she can't do that. And, why bring Trevor back? Hello, they brought Chris Pine in for only one reason. Yeah, because they work well with each other. So I do. People like the woke, the SJWs of the world, take a note. Your time of tyranny is done, or near done. No one wants you. Fans don't want you in anything. DC, Doctor Who. Star Wars. I don't see anything in bad. Some people claim it is, but it's not. Your shows, you can't create shows. You don't know how to. So you try to take our voices away. No. We will always have a voice. In more ways than one. So I can say for one thing, I always say that for thing in each and every thing, each and every video. I mean, so basically what I'm saying is, you're done. Fans are done. We're fed up. Don't want to hear it anymore. Canceling people left, right, and center just because they don't utter one narrative of what you think. Let me think. Recent history, World War II. Think about that for a second. It's not a fair comparison, but it is. It really is. History has repeated itself. Not the war per se, but they silenced back then Jewish people. Didn't really matter what nationality they were. But I can assure you, they tried to silence them, do horrible things to them. People like me would have, I know, it's just, because these people have no clue. They're silly and dumb. So why go to them? They're negative. They know nothing. They don't know what the characters like in DC represent to us, or Marvel. You don't know anything. Kevin does. I don't know what happened to him, but at least he's trying his best. But I don't want to see the same copy and splash and cut. It's just, that's all the characters are. They are not advancing them. Just, and the only people that are watching these things now are children. They can't tell the difference. It's their parents. Their parents grew up on these things. And characters like Magneto and the main character, Wanda. She's not an inhuman. She has always been a mutant and always will be. I was a long-time fellow reader, like everyone else. I fell into some other stuff, some other interests. But I'm trying to make a point here. My point is, when someone goes up and beyond their own ways of telling stories, either as comics, movies, television series, you got to stay as close as possible to each and every character. Yes, there can be a small thing which can be ignored. You don't have to worry about that. But why go the route of changing a character's race? Like you don't particularly, they did it with Suicide Squad. Brought in Will Smith for Deadshot. I had no issue with it, but because he was slight decent. He was the only one that was going for it. Then there was the Joker, Leto. Yeah, a lot of people had trouble with him because, one, Joker doesn't have tattoos. It's just, no. It's just, Harley Quinn. Very good. She did tried to do a good job on a horrible script. It's just, that's what it is. It was a horrible script from beginning to end. It's just, yeah, did I enjoy it? Oh, yeah, but somewhat. But I don't give it a 10. It's just, I give it a 2. It's just, yeah, with a slight bit of, I've seen it enough times. So, pardon me. Birds of Prey. Sorry, I'm not pardon. No. I did not see anything of that. No. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know why a lot of people didn't. It was probably because there was a bunch of females. Just like, so what? Bunch of females. Alright. You have the Huntress. No, that was done a little poorly, but still. If the Huntress was done properly, fully properly, then I would go, oh no, that's the Huntress. No, but it's not about that. It's about alienating characters, of portraying them wrong. Would you prefer a white person to be played? No, that wouldn't suit well. Just, did you know when they were casting for the first Blade that they were leaning toward Caucasian? Yep. Then Wesley Snipes came into the room because they had to do the auditions. He won them over. Yeah. Then you had to prove that he had the skills to be, yeah, because Wesley has 3 black belts. So, yeah, and he got the role, and I was so happy for it. No, I'm gonna insert this part. I wish I was in that film. Yeah, definite. Just, who wouldn't? It's just definite. It's just, anyway, the whole idea of these people who think they know stuff. No, I've tried the new Charmed, and I'm like, oh dear Lord. It says, um, Doctor Who. Sorry, I'm not on the now. It says, Doctor Who had troubles in the distant past, but at least they try to stay true to the Doctor. Yeah, Garfarian going through time and space and doing whatever he can. No, not once was he a female. No. He wanted to be ginger, but exactly. So, through the entire run of the classic series, nothing. He was never a ginger back then. No, stories are tight. Sometimes it can be a little weak. No, that's quite alright. But at least they're enjoyable. That's the main thing. Says Christopher Eccleston came in. He did a really good job. I loved it. David did a really great job as well. And I have always accepted men in the role. I'm not against a female version. It was the way they went about it that upset the John fan base. And they still, and the ones that are hoping out on hope, continue to watch. I don't see the point. No, I don't even watch anymore. It says, you want to know why I don't watch anymore? Because you can't act. No, I've tried to watch a few things with her. She just can't act. Just no, just because it's coming out of her mouth doesn't mean that she's an actor. No, she has no charisma. Says if you don't have charisma, get the hell out of it. get the hell out. Says that's what I'm saying. Just I'm not upset about anything. I just wanted to do this because a lot of things need to be said. Why a lot of people are really, really, really upset. They want you gone. They want you to snap out of it. I don't know why these tokenism people. I'm probably talking to you, and you're going like, oh, and you're probably rolling your eyes. Oh, you can't say this and you can't say that. Says, well, you want to know something? We can say anything we want. Because I have more dignity than you. Says, I have more well thoughts, open to new ideas. Now, I'm making something, by the way, a script. Yeah, then I'm just gonna do my own thing. Your days of counseling people are done. We're no longer listening to you. I'm no longer listening to you. Disney should never listen to you. I run my own book company, and I will not do what you want me to. You're wrong. You have to be wrong. You are wrong. You can't tell someone or attack them. You gotta have a happy face. Sometimes you gotta deal with it right the proper way. Hence the reason why I have the difficulty with Ray Fisher. What he did was wrong. He waited a long time, and then he came out and brought no, not one evidence of anything about Whedon. I will defend him. I will defend him. I will defend Andy and Jody, but I will never defend Catherine Kennedy. She's the instigator on that. Someone got to, I don't know, and whoever it was, should be ashamed of themselves. So there's a bit of everything there. Star Wars and the whole industry need to realize that the fans speak. If we don't like something, we will refuse to watch. And see how much you can get from what you think. I'm a giant fan, I'm a mega fan of Star Wars. I have every single book. I haven't read everything yet. I've only read like what, maybe 50 books. I know each and every character by heart. And there are far more people who have read every single one of them. They read comics, they read the books. They are collectors just like me. And we love it to death. And we will die for it. You can take away our freedom, but you will never get us. Well, I had to definite because if I actually said actually a quote from one of my favorite films, yeah, definite. Yeah, I own it. I still hope I own it. I think it's in the thing. Oh yeah, because I went through it a while back, and I'm like, oh, there it is. William Wallace. Very hard. One of my favorite films outside of the Star Wars. How dare you actually get rid of Gina? It's not right. Not right at all. The only person that actually should have fired someone was you, Catherine. Or Kathleen, I should say. I know a lot of Cathys. Yep, I do. I know at least 5 Cathys, so yeah. Kathleen, yeah, I don't know, I've never spoke to. And from now on, no, I don't want to be in Star Wars. No, not after I did what she's done. Says, no. No. So if there's any fellow actors, young fellow actors who want better names, says, yeah, avoid Star Wars at all costs. Never get a part in that. Even if you think it's a non-leader and you want distance. Says, yeah, because we are the glue that keeps on making things. You have to do the things that you have to do. Go stay out of the. How can I put this? Stay out of Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and drive them off. Says, yeah, make them lose money. Shareholders, now they're in the mess, and very upset how the mismanagement of Lucasfilm. I can rest assure you that won't go well. Says, so it looks like Kathleen Kennedy's reign may be over, but we don't know when. It could be the middle of the year or at the end of the year. And Disney, I think it was Bob Iger, or the new guy, or the other Bob. I think it was the other Bob. That Lucasfilm would keep on pumping out stuff that we don't need. So, yeah, like Catherine's Acolyte series. Would you like to lose your funding? I don't think you want to lose your funding. Says, by the time that comes out, you may not have an audience. And who's going to watch it then? And the ones that actually have Disney Plus. Hell, I don't know, because I'm watching other things. Says, like MASH. I watch the whole of all the Fox stuff, TV shows, so forth. But no, I'm not going to watch anything of Disney. Not Disney, of Lucasfilm. No, like, what's the point? It's just, yeah, paying for the service, but if you're going to watch, you're fine. You can boycott the whole thing. I won't, because I want to watch things I haven't seen for a long time. Like Sleepy Hollow, definite. Yeah, I watched 2 seasons of that. I don't want to finish it. So that's another reason why I still have it. Marvel. I'm not sure about Marvel. I will watch some of them, of course. So, yeah. I think that comes out tomorrow. I'm not sure. I may be wrong. Right. So, you need to realize a lot of things. I'm talking to fans who are just as frustrated and as I am. So, in the end, I particularly think this Tokyoism has kind of gone too far in more ways than one. I won't stand by. I won't defend things that I do. Freedom of speech is mighty important. Take that away. Then you have a war. They won't like it. So we ask you, the true fans of Star Wars, Don't call everything woke. It's not. Take a hard look at yourselves. I know you're upset. But is everything woke? No. Just because there's a female lead in it doesn't mean it's woke. Okay, but I can say for one thing, women is woke, so yeah, stop. Season 2, ooh, worse than season 1. Yeah, I may have praised it sometimes, but no, I refuse to watch it. I refuse to watch The Flash. Yeah, it's time for a walk. Supergirl. Oh dear Lord, when did they stop caring about scripts? I don't know who wrote them, but yikes. I have nothing against the characters, but damn, or the actors, but whoa, the scripts are bad on that one. Yeah, no more of that. Yeah, not for me. I will finish off one more. Well, it was inserted into the uh, CW. I wish he wasn't, but they did. But like, Sus Williams. I'm gonna finish off Black Lightning. That's a really interesting show. Yeah. After that, no thanks. I don't want anything to do with CW anymore. If you don't watch it, definite. Just don't watch it. I think people are having. I want better things. Yeah. I'm an independent filmmaker. I'm in the middle of, not in the middle, I'm in the beginning of a script. The science fiction one. Definite outer space far into the future. Yeah. Yeah, it has aliens and so forth. Yeah, and everyone is their own way. So if you think I'm a little way, who cares? I don't care. You can say whatever you want. Oh, all I'm trying to make you aware of is that, yeah, I'm just as frustrated with everything uh, as well. Now, incidentally, before I actually say anything else, yeah, next week I won't be able to make a video. Not during it goes only one day. It's a Wednesday. The reason being, oh, yeah, fellow people within the industry, they're making guess what it is? Ooh, video, music video. Yep, my mom, yeah, is enthusiastic. Then I pointed out to my mom, don't forget that I made 7 horror films. 7, actually no, more than 7, but because it was like 7 horror main for each month. And throughout the years, I've done little other things as well. One, talking to other famous, not famous, but like Cynthia Stone, an actress who declares herself a doctor now. What the hell is she talking about? Wow, it's kind of weird. It's like Dr. Phil, but he wasn't really a doctor. He was just giving out advice. Bad route. Nice person, but terrible actress. Yeah. And yeah, she's very beautiful too. If you don't know her, she is a non-union actress. Like I'm a non-union actor. Along with other non-union things. Says, I know, I know, and I still talk to at least maybe 20, maybe 30 more non-union actors, and quite a number of them do not want to get onto a union production. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Says, I guess they don't want to do pay to the union. It's actually fine. I find it's very important you do, but because not all of unions is all Tokyoism. So you should hear about Tarantino, what he thinks. It says, yeah, I particularly think that he would say something if someone asked him the question. It says, that says definite. He does his own thing. He doesn't listen to anyone. So and the Twitter crowd. Yeah, I wish more actors would leave Twitter. Uh, the union actors. Says, yeah, there's no reasoning with them. Says, so, with, like, the actors should just leave and stop listening to these. Yeah, everyone should. I wish they'd just get rid of Twitter altogether. Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna have a thing on that, and my account is growing again. Says, yeah. Mm-hmm. Last time I checked, 2080. Says, follow me. Mm-hmm. And it's because of things like this. It says, yep, and this. How do you think I got fans to begin with? It says, yeah, they weren't best selling, but at least they gained some fans. And then I did my films, and that helped. It says, even more, so definite. So they found me. It says, ooh, it says, that was really good. So, Twitter got rid of my old one. I didn't, because I said something stupid. It's just, oh man, I pretty rebranded myself. So, because back then I wasn't so nice. It's just, no, I was just yelling and screaming. It's just, yeah, stamping my feet, that sort of thing. It's just not a good image. It's just, I don't have any politics. I don't particularly, that's one of the reasons, other reasons. Politics. If it's heavy-handed in films and so forth, I switch it off and like, yeah. I noticed some politics in Batwoman, but not. It wasn't bad. It was just filtered down. It's just, but then they intensified. Did not like that, so I got rid of it. Just yeah, I took it right off of my watch list. It's just, so yeah, I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, that's a good way of alienating fans, huh? Mm. So, in generally, I particularly think a lot of people are getting more than frustrated with this whole thing, with every single thing, and you know who I am. But basically, I'm Richard Todd. My stage name is Liam Lionheart. So, yeah, if you want to know, Liam. Actually, one of my middle names is William, and I shortened it. I took off the Will and took it and kept Liam. Hence, and the reason is I'm 25%. Because yeah, I thought it was 10, but no, it's 25% Irish. Eh, yeah, 25% Irish. And 25% German, which is actually quite interesting. So, I'm not lying. I never lied. If I lied, it would be an actual script. But no. So, besides that, yeah, I'm just like the other two, British and Canadian. It's just, I was born and raised here in uh, Ontario, just outside of Toronto area. And I have been to the Toronto Comic Con. I have met several actors, fellow actors, and I have. And sometimes I actually talk to some of them. So still, so not all of them. No. My attention is drifting. It says, but I can go on until 10. So, I came out here because, one, I finished a movie. Ooh, and a really good movie, too. It says, yes, the last of the Nolan Batman. It says, oh, if he had just stopped there and not come back for the third one. Hey, that would be kind of cool. And I still particularly want them. And I still really want to see a proper Batman about Superman. It's just, oh, I love Superman. It's just that I don't particularly, yeah. As regarding to the Black Superman, that's a different character altogether. But now I hear it's going to be Clark Kent. That won't sit well with anyone. It's just new. So there's going to be a backlash against that. It's just, and I thought to myself, I found out, when was it? That's right, on Monday. It says, I'm like, really? They're to ask Clark Kent? No, that won't work. Because basically, he's Caucasian, and Warner Brothers doesn't know what they're doing. It's just, no. If you don't have a plan in motion, you just don't ruin everything. It's just, you need plans. Like when I make a book like this, right? My mind is already on the second book, despite how many readers read it. It's just, yeah, like I will. So when I'm writing the second book, when I'm done that, when I'm published it, so forth, then I start writing the second one. And it can be like halfway through or 3/4 through, and my mind's already on the third book. It's just, yeah, thanks. I ready to figure things down. So, and I already know all the characters. That could be a trilogy of things, definite. But so usually, with me, it's like open. Everything's always open-ended. This book is open-ended. The other book is open-ended. Yeah, for it's a hard line. Anyone else not like? Even when I actually wrote this third one and didn't really did publish it, but non-staff back. It's just no. And I did not have any Tokyoism in it. No, each and every character has its own way. Yeah, the good guys kind of conflicted. That's the worst things. So yeah, some of the characters like good people, they would go like, oh wait, I don't agree with that. You must agree. Why should I agree? You have your opinion, I have my opinion. And that's how the real world works, not with these fake people who keep telling us other things. It's see? So, I think there's hope after all. Keep hope alive. Anyway, I'm Richard Todd. Keep hope alive. And always remember, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Also, sliders.